So we discussed in my previous video how AI, jobs and inequality is reshaping global power. And we talked about how the global north is rapidly taking advantage and what opportunities the global south can actually maximize. So on this episode, I am narrowing it down to these consequences and what AI is actually doing for Africa, particularly Nigeria. My name is Dr. Dide Adewale, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to the place where we discuss economics and politics and international relations and how it shapes our world and influence the decisions that the government, the think tanks and economics make on our behalf. Okay, so today I've picked Nigeria as a point of focus and how this shift of AI is actually affecting Nigeria. And I'm sure you were wondering how the global AI race would actually turn out or how Nigeria will play in all of this political and economic dynamics. So I would say Nigeria risks losing low skill and outsourcing jobs because many Nigerian workers depend on customer service, transcription, data entry, basic IT support, call centers, creative tasks like graphics, writing, basic editing, and AI automates these jobs really quickly. So because these are the categories of the workforce, it's very easy and without a lot of stress or struggle for AI to replicate these jobs, to automate these jobs. So if the US and the UK and Europe, for example, replace outsourced labor with AI tools, Nigeria will lose an entire pipeline of outsourcing employment. This means that there will be increase in unemployment and there will also be reduced access to global income streams. And this will also have an impact on remittances, which is a huge part of Nigeria's economy. So you see, Nigeria receives over $20 billion annually in remittances, meaning a significant portion comes from Nigerians working in these administrative roles, transport and logistics, retail, hospitality, even low medium skill sectors abroad. So AI and automation will put these roles at risk in developed countries. So if Nigerians abroad lose opportunities, for example, remittances will drop, the naira will weaken further, and household consumption will fall. So AI indirectly weakens Nigeria's economy through global labor shifts. So what will usually rest on an average Nigerian guy who has a degree in some form of computing or some form of professional line of career could shift to all his career and job being automated by AI. So there will be serious global labor shifts. Also, Nigeria becomes a consumer usually if it doesn't position itself as a creator of AI, it could also pose a problem because right now Nigeria imports almost all the technology it uses. Without AI, without local AI development, this will not work in favor of Nigeria because foreign tech companies will gain total data and they will control it. Local industries will become dependent on external tools because in Nigeria we import every form of machinery, even down to a blender, down to a chopper. Import is like some germ that we discover because we're looking for cheap products and cheap things to live on as a household, to be able to afford the household income. So you see, local industries will become dependent on these external tools, and Nigerian businesses will lose competitive advantage. So this is a form of digital dependence that keeps Nigeria stuck behind the innovation curve. Also, this AI will affect Nigeria by deepening inequality even inside Nigeria. You see, AI rewards countries with very strong infrastructures that can handle stable electricity, strong communication structures that can handle internet, strong institutions that can provide advanced education, high computing capacity. And all of these things, Nigeria struggles in all four areas. So what does this mean? It means the elite will benefit from AI, which will be the tech founders, the banks, the big corporates, which are your Dangote, your Tedolas, Ike Mokwedo, UBA, GTB, and all those people. While the average Nigerian worker will get left behind. You that you are a teller banker or behind the desk administrative staff might lose your job to an AI automated system. It is worse for rural areas who even fall behind urban centers. They fall behind in form of literacy, information, healthcare, in all sorts of things, even in security. So you see, AI can definitely widen internal security dramatically, even within Nigeria. Now, how much more the global stage? Also, AI does affect Nigeria because AI threatens Nigeria's biggest sector services. Because these Nigerian sector services, account for 54% of Nigeria's GDP. So AI directly automates many service jobs. AI will do that. And because of that, these remittances will be low. So think about it. Think about banking, think about insurance, retail, marketing, transportation, content creation. We see that already, even with the people that are YouTubers and all of that. A lot of things are AI now taking over. So if Nigerian companies adopt AI aggressively, if Nigerians decide that is the normal Nigerian business that as a graduate you are applying to, let's say you want to apply to banks, you want to apply to schools, if all these one-man company or limited liability companies or group of companies decide to adopt AI aggressively, jobs will be replaced faster than new jobs are being created. That is the truth. And youth unemployment, which is already above 40%, will continue to rise. And because of this as well, when there's no employment and jobs and people are getting sacked, there are no jobs, social pressure would increase. And this is the fastest way to continued insecurity in Nigeria, to continued bandit relations, ethnic relations, religious rivalries, and all sorts in Nigeria. And out of this, Japa will be the next thing. Migration will increase. And for those that cannot migrate, they either become something else into the society. So I would say these are one of like the negative side effects if Nigeria doesn't wake up to responsibility. But in all of this, is there an opportunity? Of course, Nigeria has a major opportunity. And this part is key. And this part is really the focus of this discussion. Nigeria is not only at risk, it has a huge window of opportunity if used correctly. You need to mark that word correctly. So Nigeria can win in three areas that I did think the Nigerian government should start focusing on. AI talent export. If you see, even in overseas countries, Nigerians are some of the very huge tech gurus that are behind some of the creation of this AI automation. Nigeria already produces globally competitive software engineers and data scientists. So you see, with the right training, Nigeria could become a major exporter of these engineers. And if you see, it will lead to a solid amount of AI talent that will bring about high value jobs, which will translate to high remittances, which will translate into FX inflow. And you see, the new middle class will be built around these digital skills. Another opportunity for Nigeria will be the AI powered sectors, where AI can transform the fintech. We know there are already very huge testimonies and evidences of successes amongst average Nigerians in fintech. You know the numbers, you know their names, you're doing so well. And AI can also transform agriculture. It can transform health diagnostics, transportation, logistics. So even governance, even in that public sector with all these bureaucratic bottlenecks. So these are major Nigerian weaknesses now that I think AI can fix faster than traditional reforms. Another one will be Africa's largest youth population, which has always been a fundamental point for leveraging in global competition. You see, Nigeria has something Western countries don't. It is young people. A young tech savvy population will be a strategic asset for an AI driven world in Nigeria, pioneered by Nigeria, led by Nigeria, owned by Nigeria, only if trained properly. The youth can become a serious global competitive advantage that will rival the likes of UK, US, and Europe. But what is the bigger risk for Nigeria? If Nigeria doesn't build its own AI now, using the world now, if you don't build your own AI capacity now, not models, not necessarily models, but actually the knowledge, the regulation, you start building your own regulation, start building your own infrastructure now, and also local applications. If you don't do that, Nigeria, you will become permanently dependent. And unemployment will rise, inequality will deepen, and the country will continue exporting talent while importing technology. And you see, Nigeria will become a global user and not a global player. And that has to change in the narrative of African countries, especially Nigeria, that frontiers one of the giants in Africa. So I would say that Nigeria has a has opportunities that it could leverage on. For Nigeria, the AI revolution is a double-edged sword. So AI will create new industries if used properly, if harnessed properly, it will produce new skills, new jobs, and new opportunities for young people. But it can also erase entire categories of workforce, reduce remittances, or even deepen inequality. And it can even lock the country out and put them permanently into digital dependency. Think of it like this. When nuclear weapons were being gotten by the foreign powers, you can see they used policy to protect it. They have these nuclear weapons, but every other person is under sanction for even trying to test, or for even trying to explore, or for even trying to do anything that looks like will threaten the power that is at play. So you see, Nigeria has to decide right now whether it wants to be a consumer of AI or a creator, whether it wants to continue to remain dependent or have a voice on the global stage. Let me know what you think. Share your ideas with me. These are powerful discussions where we explain how things affect us directly, both in Nigeria, both in Africa, or all over the world, economically, politically, but more on a global stage. There is a part three, which I want you to watch out for, on how the global AI race would actually affect Africans in diaspora. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Engage, like the